जो राखी का बंधन है ना, राखी का त्यौहार है ना, तो हम सब के लिए बहुत बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। आप में से कौन है जिन्होंने कभी भी राखी नहीं बंधवाई है? भाई लोग तो बंधवाते हैं ना, कभी पूरा हाथ भर जाता है, होता है ना सर? और बहनें? इंग्लिश इंग्लिश, ओके, श्योर, नो प्रॉब्लम. So, I'm sure that all of you sitting here has had the experience of having your Rakhi tied. Who has never had the Rakhi tied? Raise your hand. Oh, so everybody has. Yeah. So, in a worldly sense, who ties the Rakhi to who and why? How many minutes do I have, Saurabh bhai? Unlimited. Unlimited. अच्छा अच्छा, thank you. आपने पूरा फ्लोर दे दिया. Who ties the Rakhi to whom and why? Please tell me. Why? It's not a complex question I asked. Okay, why isn't it the other way around? Isn't it the other way around? Is it the other way around? Hmm? Traditionally, there's a lot in the Hindu mythology and a calendar, if you really think about it, that goes with the festival, right? To that degree, even, which touches me very deeply, in the history, when Muslim kings want to overcome India, Indian queens would send Rakhi to, right? So that means you're my brother, he can't do anything. Right? You find that India in specific, in the olden days, those are of my age range, that in the olden days, the Brahman priest will go to each one's home and tie Rakhi. Very simple thread. I remember when I came to the Brahma Kumaris, we used to make the Rakhi ourselves. There's no fancy Rakhi like this. To that degree, in the home, if you have a safe or a car or a scooter, you want it protected. So please tie Rakhi there as well. Am I right? Yeah. In actual fact, the very word is Raksha and Bandhan. Raksha means protection, and Bandhan means bondage. Everybody wants to be protected, but nobody wants bondage, right? If you hold that little child little tightly, she'll say, let go, leave me alone. Am I right? So, what is this Raksha Bandhan festival represent? Culturally, I remember growing up in England with 3 sisters and 1 brother. Yeah. In India, in Indian culture, you wait to have a son, right? It's a bit like that. No, they want a son, right? So waited. I remember growing up, we would not tie the Rakhi on my brother's hand. Well, you're going to get money from mom and dad and give it to us. When you grow up, let's talk about this. Everything is materialistic, isn't it? What has Rakhi become now? You give this, I give this. Even as growing up, I remember in school, I was like 7 years old. And in India, the teacher said, next day is Raksha Bandhan. All the boys bring something for the girls. And in the classroom, they announce, each girl go to one boy and tie a Rakhi. Somebody brought a little sweet or a little something or the other. Very sweet thing that I have a very clear memory of. Culturally, I feel that at least one day the sister has the permission to go to the brother's house. Right? Sometimes they don't allow or they don't like her going. But that day she's not stopped. Sister goes with a lot of love, with Rakhi and sweet and everything. When the Rakhi is being tied, the belief is, I say now, the belief is that the brother protects the sister. Am I right? Tell me if I'm going wrong somewhere. But you think about it, sometimes the sister is 20 years old. The brother is 1 year old, right? After 5 daughters, there's a son. So, how can that 1 year old protect the 20-year-old? Or as a sister, you're in this country and your brother is in India or some other country. Is that possible? Question is, can a human being protect somebody? Another question, what protection do I need? What protection do I really need? I remember I was very, very new in Gyan, very young and very new. And in our Indian culture, you're very protected in home. It's very comfortable, no relationship, no nothing like this. The tape isn't full, right? At the age of 16, 17, 18, right? I remember one of my first Rakis. I went to London and Sister Jenti gave a talk. That really made me think. And she said, in actual fact, we we don't have any external enemies. Nobody's my enemy. In actual fact, I need protection from my own negativity. Right? Let's just say negativity. I wouldn't even use the word vices. Some part of nature in me, my habit, trait, or sanskar that gets me into the trouble all the time. Think it over. It's not people that I need protection from, my own self, actually. And that hit me so strong when she said that. Maybe I have the nature of making assumptions. Maybe I have the nature of being jealous. Maybe I have the nature of not forgiving somebody. Maybe I have the nature of being jealous. Maybe I have the nature of being upset or mood off. Is that nature really serving me? Is it helping me? Is it helping me spiritually grow? Is it making me a better person or worse person? That is where I need protection from. Now, in the Brahma Kumaris, the question is, how do I protect myself from my own negativity? And the festival is bond of love. When somebody falls in love with somebody else, a girl from a very wealthy family falls in love with somebody poor. She leaves everything for the love of this person. And she doesn't feel the hardship. She doesn't feel the hardship because of that love. She's able to let go of the world because of this love of this human being. Right? So, now here, in spiritual terms, when this individual being, the soul, has love for the divine, my connection with divine. When there is that connection, the bond of love, it's a sweet bond. And in that sweet bond, there is love. When I connect with the divine source, whom I call Khuda, Allah, God, Baba, whatever you want to, that's close to your heart, doesn't matter. In that connection, the power or the strength that I receive, I, the individual being, the soul, naturally gets protected from my own negativity. When that power is so strong that's flowing into me, nothing of this world matters. Am I making sense? You notice some days you had really good meditation, right? Very good meditation. Then something breaks, something happens, whatever. It's like a water over duck's back. It doesn't affect you. You notice that? When somebody says something, you really don't mind. And when that meditation, that connection is not there, small things becomes a big issue. Am I right? When there is that power from the divine, the severest thing that happens in your life, whether it's a business loss or somebody your loved one leaves the body, whatever. Because of the love of that divine, you're able to manage that situation because you're strong. In that God's love, it makes you strong. And in that strength, you don't feel. When there is that connection, you find even your body, you don't feel that pain or aches. Do you feel that pain and ache when you're in deep state of meditation? You don't think about aches and pain. And soon as you come down in the consciousness of the body, what happens? All these things happen. So the idea of this beautiful festival of love, bond of love. See, physical things are always a symbol. Symbol, right? Um, most of you have been to Madhuban, or your loved person must have given you a gift, right? When you go to Madhuban, you said, "Oh, sister, 20 years ago, Dadi Prakash Mani put this ring on me." When you look at that thing, you feel so happy. Or somebody gave you a sweater or something. You say, "Oh, this person gave me this sweater." Physical things have connected memories. Am I right? Could be a small thing, but that was given with a lot of love to you. So when the Rakhi is being tied, it's a memory. It's a memory of this particular time, being in this beautiful, powerful spiritual gathering. That, you see, when I actually, it's not about making a promise to God or protection. I make a promise to the divine in my own silent mind. And like today's Murli, when there is honest heart, what does Baba want from me? Honest heart. That's all he wants, right? Nothing else. Baba has everything. If your child is honest with you, then what happens? If the child says, "Mommy, I broke this. Mommy, I did that. This happened," then you want to help the child. But if the child is hiding or not telling the truth, it's a different story, isn't it? So, in that love, when I am honest with the divine, open myself, not holding back, whatever part of me that I feel, if this can shift, I will be 16 celestial degrees soon, as Baba said yesterday. So, on this day today, in a state of solitude and silence, I make an inner dialogue with Baba. You know, sometimes if you go to, if you, let's say you're going to India next week and you're going to see your mother, in your mind, you sit and talk, right? Oh, I'm going to tell my mom this, I did this. You're making an inner mind dialogue. That's exactly what we do. When I'm sitting in silence, I make an inner, like, you know, you have a cell phone and you press the button, right? If you press the wrong button, somebody else comes, right? Well, when the cell phone came out, I was so flabbergasted. My parents live in England, and I do like this, and they're online. I said, "Wow, how amazing, this little machine." But if I press the wrong button, somebody else came, right? I was like, "Wow, what an amazing machine." Exactly the wavelength. Baba's wavelength. I just need to connect with that divine being on a subtle wavelength level. And the way I can do it is with my love and pure thoughts. And in that state of silence, I talk to the divine being. Whatever it is that I want to give, not that the divine wants anything from me. Does Baba want anything from me? Nothing, no? Do parents want anything for children? No, just become a good child. Just study well, right? That's all they want, no? Baba doesn't want anything from me, he has everything. But what he does want is for me to become the best of me. The divine has nothing but pure wishes for me. That's all. So in this silence, I sitting silently here in this beautiful atmosphere, Ask yourself, what, right, when Rakhi is being tied, you actually give something, isn't it? It's not royal when you don't give something. Even if your brother is poor, they'll give you a small thing, but they give something. So what Baba wants from me is whatever is my negativity. That which is a barrier in my relationship, in my spiritual growth, that stops me from being happy, that stops me from enjoying life. That's a hindrance in my relationship. That's what Baba wants. So, it's like 31st, you make a promise to yourself, right? Similarly. So when the Rakhi is being tied, you have a nice inner connection with Baba. Try and keep the Rakhi on so you will remember. Seeing your Rakhi, you will remember in this beautiful, pure atmosphere. I took this thought that, okay, in God's love, for that pure being, that pure love, this is what I give up. Like in a worldly sense, the girl gives up everything for this love. This is the only time when I recognize the divine. I have a direct connection with the divine. And it's not difficult. All it takes is love and an honest heart. So think about what Raksha Bandhan actually means to you. Bond of love. Love, they say love makes the world go round. In life, when there is love, there is everything. When there's no love, there is nothing. है ना? When there is love, कहते हैं कि सूखी रोटी भी अच्छी लगती है. And when you don't have love, your favorite dish, you don't enjoy it. You say, oh, I don't want it. So this is the time where the divine is open and offering himself to us to take from that divine. What the divine wants from us, that we become pillars, we become lighthouses, and then serve the world. As we all see the need of the hour, is that we become the lighthouse, the beacons. So sitting here, I gather that strength. So I'm able to serve the world. Okay? Om Shanti. Let's stay in place now. Oh,
Om Shanti. It's a beautiful explanation of this mystical bond which we are renewing. The eternal bond between the soul and the Supreme Soul, which is the highest, purest form of love that there is. And so, as Sister Hema said, we're going to create a memory that goes along with the bracelet. And we're going to do that by having a sweet conversation between our highest, purest angelic self. That little angel that lives inside is going to speak with the Supreme Father, the Father of all angels. Come in. To begin with, check that you're sitting comfortably. If you can, it's good to uncross your legs. Unless you're sitting on the floor, cross legs are good. But if you're sitting in a chair, it's good to have your feet on the floor if that works for you. Take a few deep, easy breaths. Breathe freely, like an angel. Absolutely no restriction of any kind in your breathing. And notice how light and angelic the breath is. As you watch the breath, let your mind be light and angelic. See yourself, the soul, as a tiny sparkling star behind the third eye point. Tiny, invisible, sparkling star. With your third eye, you can understand that there's a soul there. I am the pure and peaceful soul who lives in this body. And as a child of God, I'm also a being of love, like my Father. God's love is always available to me. Sometimes I remember and sometimes I forget. But God's love is always flowing. And when I see myself as a soul, a spiritual being, a being of light, I can connect with my Father. He's also a tiny being of light. You might want to look at the picture behind me to get a picture of what I'm talking about. A being who is just light in a dimension of light, a being of the purest love, deep, deep peace, and a being who sees the best in me, like any parent who sees the best in their children, a being who sees me as filled with virtues, a being who has experienced my purest love, and a being who, like any parent, wants the child to have a life of happiness. Anything that interferes with your happiness, God doesn't see it as a fault or a flaw. He just says, it's not yours. Give it to me. Let me take it. And I will give you spiritual power in return. Any habit or belief or energy within yourself that doesn't serve you, it interferes with your happiness. Give it to your sweet Father. You don't have to ask for anything in return. Father will accept, give you some kind of power, free yourself. from that obstacle. It's not you, it's just an obstacle that you along the journey of life. See God's love radiating as the purest light. And that light is filled with all spiritual powers. So each one of us, whatever power we need, is coming to us right now. Our Father knows which power each one of us needs and is sending it to us. Let yourself be filled with God's light. And we want to remember this moment because the obstacle will still come. But with this spiritual power, can be stronger than the obstacle. I am a being of love. I am a being of peace. I am a being of truth. I am benevolent, my Father. But I do not allow anything false within me. I do not allow anything harmful. And so, with great love and self-respect, when any weakness starts to influence me, I remember God's light, God's love, and my truth. I pause a moment, say Om Shanti. I am a child of the divine. I am filled with divine light. As you have your rocking tide, hold consciousness that you are completely free from this obstacle. It's not part of you, and you are walking away from it. You're walking into the divine light, the most benevolent Father, and you are protected by that light. Om Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you so much, Sister Hema and Sister Mary, for taking us beyond this physical dimension to experience the presence of the divine. And we would